is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you? Oh, that's nice. Nice. Welcome. I'm Reverend Tracy and delighted to have you here at Claremont Center, where we come together every week to remember the magnificence of who we are, that beyond all that day-to-day stuff that we deal with and manage and cope and schedule and all that, there is within us a light and a life that cannot be denied. So we are here to support each other in that, to know the truth for each other, and to celebrate life together. So thank you for coming. I want to take a moment and have you all turn around and wave to the folks that are with us on live stream. Good morning, you are part of this. And we are so glad that you have joined us today. So this morning our practitioner on platform is Nisa Burrows. Nisa will do our opening prayer and a reading, and I just want to remind you that our practitioners are available for prayer service anytime. You can tap Nisa on the shoulder or from a distance, actually, right now, for her to pray with you after service, but any of our practitioners are available to you during the week as well. We have a prayer request box up front here where you can leave a written request. We have a confidential phone line. You can leave a message. Or you can also reach the practitioners directly by checking on our website for their information. You know, having someone else know the truth with you and for you is probably the most powerful thing we can do for each other. So I do invite you to take advantage of their offer of service. We have on the keyboards this morning Jeff Harrison, providing our background music, and I want to give a shout out to our sound team in the back that make live streaming and microphones possible. We are so grateful for all that you do. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to invite you to go within, if you will. Take a moment, take a breath, maybe close your eyes, and just breathe. Allowing the sound of the bowl to take you to that place within your very own heart. That spot where the spark of life is, where we remember our unity with one another and with Spirit.
And we breathe into that heart space, that all-knowing center within each one here. Know that this one life, the one divine mind, which is source at the heart of all, is the source of each one here. With this knowing, we turn our mind's eye further inward, breathing into this radiant heart, opening to this all love, allowing this all in all to have full sway in our life, opening, allowing that which is the true essence of being to freely flow into us, to freely flow through and express itself in the individuality that each one here calls me. and in gratitude, in the knowing for this radiance flowing through us, we say, and so it is. My reading for today is from The Science of Mind, 1950, August. And these are Ernest Holmes, so. The truth about me is that I am pure spirit, living in a spiritual universe of order, peace, and love. The confusion around me is a passing experience, and I let go of the worldly view and rise into the consciousness of truth, where all is harmony, freedom, and smiling repose. In the kingdom of heaven, or in my true state of being, I live, move, and breathe in the love of spirit. The only thing that matters is the great harmony which pervades and fills every part of me, every part of my all life. The love of spirit abides within each person, and this love within me is opening my consciousness to the appreciation of goodness in every human relationship. I am aware of being in the one universal harmony with all people. Love within me dissolves all memory of confusion or hurt. No imperfection can touch or affect spirit. The loving presence of spirit within me now heals me of sorrow and adjusts all misunderstandings. The true self of each person loves and approves of the true self within me. My divine self blesses all people. This day I let the love of spirit pour out to each person in my environment. Love is giving me the wisdom to express more love in my thoughts and in every act of my life. Love reveals to me my unity with every living thing. Love has the power to heal everything. Love has given me the understanding to bring order and peace to my thoughts. I let the great harmony of spirit heal and adjust every situation in my life. Love fills me with its glowing presence, and I am peace. Thank you.
Thank you. So this morning, light the candle for the spirit within. We continue talking about our theme, pause for guidance. And what is that guidance but that awareness of our divine nature, or that awareness of the spiritual knowingness that is within each one of us? And that is what we are celebrating today. The title today is Spirit, Rise in Me. And I start, of course, in my own writing with the definitions of keywords in the talk today. So I started with the word rise. You know, to rise up, to flow. In its old German origins, it means to travel. Reisen is to travel. So it's to rise as if for a journey. And isn't that what we're all on, this journey of life? It's a word that we use when we talk about something increasing in value, right? The value rises, or something that comes to the surface. something that comes into existence or takes form. So when we say, Spirit, rise in me, we're saying, Spirit, source of all life, come to the surface within me. Bring into form from your own nature. And that word source, actually as a meaning, is a rising up of a fountainhead. A fountainhead where the spring water begins. And this is what we come from, this spiritual fountainhead that rises up within us. And as a secondary meaning, source means to keep straight or to guide. So what are we doing but asking that spiritual nature within each one of us to rise up within us that we might be guided, that we might be led into or shown the greater life that we are truly meant to have. Spirit, rise in me. Now, we are all amazing religious scientists, yes? This is yes. Okay. I agree, we are. However, I have noticed that even in all of my scientific religiosity, if that's even a word, I too can feel depleted or stuck or discouraged or tired. Is anybody else tired? Can you say mask? Yeah. Happens to all of us. But because we are amazing religious scientists, we know that when that happens, when that feeling of overwhelm or exhaustion comes over us, it is a call or a cause for us to pause and to refresh ourselves. And where do we do that? How do we do that? We turn within. We go back to that fountainhead, that unending source of energy and vitality and inspiration and joy and peace and beauty, those things that our soul is calling for. We tap back into the source that we might be renewed. So I'm going to offer you an opportunity to close your eyes for a moment and just listen to some music. This is songwriter Faith Rivera singing part of her song called Rise.
Close my eyes, I open my heart, I'll take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in, I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me, and let in my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time. The power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. This noise makes sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me, rise in me. Heart to heart,
Spirit, rise in me. Feeling the power of 1,000 suns. Heart to heart, hand in hand. This energy of life that is within us, that we find again when we feel that we've lost it, we find it again in connecting with each other, in standing together, in connecting ourselves again to life, through people, through ideas, through nature, through spiritual practice. We're called again and again and again to remember that the power of life for us to rise above the chaos, the noise of the world lies within, begins within. So Mark Nepo is one of my favorite authors, and his book, 7,000 Ways to Listen, is filled with stories and meditations and help along the journey. And he has a great story. He retells the story, a South African tale, in which Grandfather Mantis needs to hear his thinking strings in order to figure out how to keep the aging sun up in the sky. Embedded in this moment is an entire philosophy of life and a description of how one form of life renews another in a mystical chain of being that keeps the world going. Honoring these connections can renew us when we feel too tired to go on. So the story unfolds as the creatures begin to miss the sun's warmth, only to discover that the aging sun is tiring from its daily path across the sky. They turn to Grandfather Mantis for a solution, since he has a gift for surviving. Now, Grandfather Mantis realizes that in order to think clearly, his body needs strength. And for that to happen, he needs nourishment. So honeycombs are gathered and brought to him for him to eat, that he might be strengthened, and that in his physical strengthening, it enables him to hear his thinking strings. That his thoughts come to him in thinking strings implies that ideas are retrieved, not created. Refreshed and strong, Grandfather Mantis listens and then charges all the creatures to lift the tiring sun at dawn just before it wakes and to give it a boost up into the highest sky. They all do this, and once aloft, the sun is carried by the higher current back and forth across the sky until its warmth is again available to all. Within this story, the immediate remedy for a waning life force resides in the trust that each part of life affects all the others, and that each part has a role to play in keeping the other parts well and functioning. The underlying secret to releasing that remedy seems to be the realization that no living thing is the sole author of its vitality. Life force flows from one living thing to another. So when feeling weary and out of sorts, the first thing we can do to see where our connecting points to life have been dislodged. This is no different than checking if the plug is cleanly in the socket when the lamp begins to flicker. Like Grandfather Mantis, our job is to hear the thoughts and insights plucked on our thinking strings, just as the Greeks used to do when they placed the harp at the top of the mountain, waiting for the wind to pluck the strings that music might be made. We need everything and everyone to keep everything going. By helping each other, we re-enter the strongest currents of life and are carried along. This is how the parts keep the universe whole, and how the whole keeps the parts vitalized. What nourishes, strengthens, and warms us comes through us and through our connection, not from us. We need each other to make it through. If you're willing, we can help each other put the sun back into the sky. So there is a power within us that is activated when we consciously connect with our spiritual nature, with each other, with music, with nature, with anything that wakes up the heart, so that we might know ourselves as a channel for spirit to flow through us. That pause for guidance, that moment when we step back and do spiritual mind treatment, or say a prayer, or meditate, or contemplate a beautiful writing, or a piece of artwork, or nature outside our window. That is the energy that we tap into. That is the truth of our being. That is the place of our power. Now, Grandfather Mantis is not sitting outside on the geraniums outside your window probably today, but in real life, this still happens. And I bring up once again, as I did last week, the story of Simone Biles at the Olympics. This is what this looks like. She was very self-aware that in the moment, on the world's biggest stage, not the most convenient time at all, she needed to pause. She needed to step back. She needed to honor where she authentically was in that moment. And what she did with that is she communicated it to those with whom she is connected. The team doctor, the Olympic psychologist, her teammates, her coaches. She didn't let the idea of other people's opinions change what she knew she needed to do for herself. And in doing that, in communicating that to the world, she said truly that we are all that we need to be right where we are, wherever that is, that we're more than enough. There is nothing to prove. There is only truth. And the truth is, I need to pause. I need to refuel. I need to be filled back up. I need to adjust my routine so that I might engage authentically in the world. Isn't that what it means to have spirit rise up within us so that we might show up in the world as our best selves? So she cheered from the sidelines, and she made an adjustment so that she might participate in the last event. She earned a bronze medal in balance beam. And in her stepping back to take care of herself, all of those around her rose. Every girl on that team went home with a medal, which may not have happened had she been competing at full capacity. Everyone went home with a medal. Everyone stepped up and in to fill the gap, which really wasn't a gap at all. It was simply part of the pattern of this tapestry where we are interwoven together to express life in the best way possible. It's a very powerful moment, a very powerful way to move in life. And what happened was that the world responded to her with support and validation and kudos and cheering and and a medal for being who she was in that moment. And we too have that power within. When we speak authentically, the universe says yes. What else can you say? When someone speaks their truth to you, there's no argument. There's no disagreement. I mean, I may not agree with what you want to do for me, but I certainly can't deny that what you are saying to me from your heart is yours to say. We all win when we live from that power within. There's a poem by Hafiz that's here somewhere, as you know. Wait. There it is. He says, I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy. My heart is too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance the sacred dance of life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up, and to lift others up. O sacred one, untangle my feet from all that ensnares. Free my soul that we might dance and that our dancing might be contagious. So I offer you this week a call to remember, to pause for guidance. Anytime on the journey, you may pause and reflect and renew yourself, realign yourself with spiritual principle and truth, clearing the way for spirit to rise up and overflow, to take form in the world as love, because love is the truth of who you are. Pause, be aware, realign, be renewed. And as I was writing these last words on my notes for this morning, I have music playing, and the song that came up was called Spirit Dances. Now, there are no coincidences. So that is your call this week, to dance with spirit from your heart of hearts, knowing that it rises up within you as love. Namaste. Take a moment with me in prayer, please. I invite you to close your eyes and take that deep breath into your heart center, into that place of the spark within, that divine knowing that is the very essence of each and every living thing. Tapping into that knowingness of love that is the very truth of who we are. Knowing that love and only love is our connection with the source, the expression of which we are here to deliver to the world. I know that as God is that love within me, my life is that love within the world. I know that all living things are of spirit, therefore that love exists within each and every one of us. And as I know this to be true, I see life unfolding in ever greater ways, connections made, harmonies blended, new pathways opening up. All the power and the energy and the vitality needed for this human experience right here within our own being, awaiting only our recognition and invitation. And so I speak a word today that the path within is cleared, that any obstacles or limitations which my very human self may have seen or thought it saw simply fade away in the light of love. That there is room and more room for the spirit that I am to rise up within me and overflow like a fountain into the world. Truly, we are all blessed by the gift of love from each other, from life itself, the love that we express, the creation that happens when we are authentic. These blessings and so much more are the truth of life. And I am grateful, so very, very grateful. And in this gratitude, I see more. I see more blessings. I see more love. I see more opportunities to give of myself and to receive from others the gifts that they bring. And together we lift the sun into the sky, that all are warmed, that all might see by its light. We all rise. And I release my word into the mind of God, for I know that in law all things are already done. That this wholeness of which I am a part of simply expresses as my light, as your light, as the light of all good, for it is truly all God. And so it is. Gotta dance, gotta dance. Everybody's gotta dance. All right, we have an affirmation. I'm going to invite you to repeat after me. Today I rise and re-emerge fully nourished, restored, and renewed. And so it is. All right. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. All right, how many of you like to play in the garden? Okay, so let's rephrase that. How many of you like to play in the dirt? Sarah, see how easy that was? All right, we have opportunities to make a little team. We're making a little team to go around our campus and love up some of the areas that were neglected that year and a half we were gone. So if you like to work in the garden, or if you just like to stand in the shade and direct people on what to do in the garden, we have room for you on our team. If you have planting expertise, if you just want to help, you know, anybody can use a rake if needed, right? You can do that. So come talk to us. Talk to Shelly, talk to anyone on our board. Tammy is here. Who else is here from our board? Jan is here. Jan loves plants. Jan's already sort of volunteered. You know what the sign language sign is for volunteered? It's when somebody taps you on the shoulder. So please join us. We want to continue to make things beautiful. We're off to a great start, and we've got lots of projects. Thanks to your contributions, I want to remind everybody that we all came together for Christmas in July. We built up a little fund of ways to make improvements. Some of that money is going to gardening. Some will come to the interior, some for our audiovisual team. But we are looking for good ways to spend it, and I'm sure you would like to help, right? Right. Yes. We believe in the law of circulation. Also, we are getting bids to have the exterior trim and doors painted and repaired. It's been a long time since the building's been painted. We're not looking to paint the whole thing, but we know that if we do not take care of the eaves along the edges where the paint's starting to peel, we will have bigger problems later on, right? So we're asking if you know anyone that a painting contractor, something your brother-in-law does on the side, but he's bonded and licensed. Please, we would like to get some bids and see what it would take to get that done to keep our building in good shape. So that's an opportunity for you as well. Let's see, Wednesday night, we have meditation via Zoom at 6:15, followed by our gateway service at 7. Both of those are on Zoom. It allows you to take a little spiritual break right in the middle of your week and to have an interesting discussion about spiritual concepts and ideas. We usually have a speaker. I believe Ed is speaking again this week. Yes. You know, if you've ever talked to Ed about the things that he is passionate about, you will find him a wealth of information. And he is currently sharing stories from the Old Testament and then inviting discussion. So do yourself a favor, tap into Wednesday Night Gateway. The link is on our website, and it's also in our weekly e-blast. So feel free to join us on Wednesday. If you've never done it before and you want help, please let us know. We will help you because it's really fun. Okay. What else? Anything else? Are we good? Well, we're all good, right? Oh, yes, I see. There's a waving hand in the back reminding me that it would be good to thank you all for your contributions and to perhaps do our prosperity affirmation and remind you that our baskets are in the back of the room in the interest of safety protocols. We're not passing the basket, but it's there by the door on your way out. If you have something in your hand, you might want to place it over your heart. And for those of you that know our prosperity affirmation, please say it with me. The rest of you may hum along. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Thank you all, and thank you all for making this community the place of love and support that it is. We couldn't do it without each other, right? Okay, so let's end with a circle. We're going to not hold hands. We're going to keep our masks on because we're keeping each other safe. We're going to sway and dance without singing to Eddie Watkins Jr., reminding us to take a look at each other in the sanctuary and feel the love. So please stand, move to the outside, make a circle, and let's rock.
Take a look at the person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color. Again should we